sounds like it's Eastern European in origin, Zabriskie.
I think it's probably Polish,
Polish.
but I'm not sure. Now there's another story. Go on.
No, you can go on. I love
Okay.
it. I'm having such a lovely time.
You see this?
Yeah.
This is a map of the state of New York, the westernmost part of the state of New York. And it professes to be, it's signed by Ellicott and somebody else, and it's dated 1800.
Yeah.
Or 1804, depending on where you look. And I looked at that. It was in the 30 Rockefeller Center in the basement, displayed like this. And I thought, gee, I was born and raised right there. Okay, and so I recognized the territory on Johnson.
So is that
Johnson's
is
Creek.
that across the border, or is
No,
that
this is
the
the lake.
border? Okay,
And
right.
here's Niagara Falls.
Oh, okay.
And so this is Canada, but this is the United States. Okay, and it goes to the
Right,
the
yeah.
river. So I said, that's interesting. I like that map. I went in to buy it. Of course, it was not for sale. It was going to be auctioned off next week. And their way of doing things. So I said, well, I'm not going to be here next week. Can I leave a bid? And she said, sure. So I said, how much should I leave? And she said, oh, it's up to you. So I said, oh, $50. That's worth $50. Because you can see, it's really original.
Yeah.
And there's a watermark of someplace in London, 1790, I think it is.
Oh, right. So the
So
paper.
paper was clearly old.
Yeah.
And so it was printed. Came back 2 weeks later and I said, anybody ever buy that map? She said, well, let me check. And she found out that, yes, somebody had bought it. And I said, well, could you tell me who bought it? And I said, she said, yes, it was either Geneseo right here.
Uh-huh.
Is that Geneseo or is it
Yes,
Geneseo?
Genesee's here.
Geneseo. All right. She said a man that owned the bookstore came and bought it. And I said, well, could you give me his name? And she said, well, yeah, I can do that. So I called him. And of course, he was in New York, his wife said. So an hour later, he showed up at my desk. My office was in 30 Rock, which is in Manhattan. And he had it with him. I guess he was on a buying tour or something. So we talked and dickered a little bit. And he said, well, my usual markup's 100%. All right, so I paid him his usual markup. Took it. A week later, well, then I began to wonder if I'd done it right. So I went to the old print shop in Manhattan, where I bought these, and asked him about the authenticity of this. And he said, well, first of all, nobody's going to go to the trouble of duplicating the paper with that kind of watermark on it.
Right.
So it's not worth that kind of money. So it's probably what it says it is. So I was happy. Then I got a letter from this man in Geneseo who said, I think I made a mistake. I think it was a fraud. I'm giving you your money back. So what do you do now? So I went there's a place called Batavia right here, someplace.
Uh-huh.
Where there's a
yeah, Batavia's there.
they call them a land office.
Uh-huh.
Where they used to sell lots like this from maps like this.
I think it fascinating that people would just buy a square lot.
Well, there's a lot of land in that square lot.
Yeah.
But that's what they did back in the